Hey guys, good morning. We have a new friend joining in. Thanks for joining the Art Talk by Sneha Arts. Sneha Arts is a renowned, exhibition. They actually do art sculptures and exhibitions in Hyderabad. This is run by Dr. Snehalata Prasad, very well-known sculptor and artist, and she does a lot of exhibitions and shows around. So today we have Shri Jatin Das, who is joining in today. He's a famous sculptor. He's joining in from Delhi today. He is famous for his contemporary art. He lives in Delhi. He's been doing art for like 60 years, almost 6 decades. And he's also conferred with Padma Bhushan Award, one of the highest civilian awards by the president. And his murals, sculptures have been installed in various locations, very well known. So maybe he can talk more about his journey. So thanks a lot for joining in here, sir. Namaskar. So Jatin sir, क्या आप बता सकते हैं आपकी जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुई आर्ट से 60 years is a very long time and it's an honor to have you here in this particular show. So maybe you can talk about how your journey started, why you chose art compared to all the other professions which were available during your time. So over to you.
60 years have passed by like yesterday. When you keep working, you don't realize how the time has lapsed. Talking on Skype on this screen without looking at the audience, it's quite a different experience, like when I used to have television programs. But I've also been a teacher for many years. Ramachandran, Paramjit and me, we taught at Jamia Millia University. We set up the fine arts faculty. But I left, so nobody is interested in learning art. Before I start, I would like to say thank you very much, Sneha. And she's not in the frame, but thank you, Sneha, for inviting me. I'm very fond of Hyderabad. I'm from Orissa and adjacent to Andhra Pradesh. So we share the sea and the land together. Okay. I don't believe in boundaries at the same time. I don't believe in the division of India. I don't believe in houses with boundary, cities and countries with boundary. Having said that, I'm originally from Mayurbhanj, a old princely state in Orissa, very renowned princely state. So in my early days, although it was a small town, the capital of Mayurbhanj, called Baripada, we had literally everything that's required in a civilized town. That is, we had a big library, we had a council hall, we had a zoo, we had many gardens, we had museums. My school is 150 years old. There's a school for boys, school for girls, co-ed school, etc.
Wow.
Colleges, lake, river, you name anything. Sports, dance and music. My mother used to write poetry. My sister used to write poetry. My elder brothers used to draw. Then I went to Bombay to study art at the age of 17. My younger son is 17 now. At that age, I went alone from Mayurbhanj to Bombay in a train. And somebody was sitting next to me. Turned out that he was next to the JJ School of Art. He lived. And he said, come and stay with me. People were very affectionate in those days. There's a sea change in the country, not only in the society, also in the art. People were simple, people were innocent, people were affectionate, people were kind, trustworthy, and so on. So having said that, I went to JJ School of Art. It's one of the best art schools in the country, set up by the British. The very first school, it's about 170 years old. The building design of the art school is one of the best in the world. It has 40 feet skylight and so on. Anyway, so I was talking about, I'm going to talk at a tangent on many things as it comes to my mind. So from Mayurbhanj, from a small town to the biggest cosmopolis. That's Bombay. At the time in Bombay, they were great writers, poet, musician, architect, dancers, theatre people, and so on. In 1959, I had a studio in Pulamai Memorial Institute, who no longer exists. But there was Al-Qazi, there was Ravi Shankar, and there was Iyengar, the great, what do you call, yoga teacher, Satyadev Dubey. So there were many artists, Gaitonde, and so on. So I was the youngest who had a studio there. You see, next to Hussein. Hussein came after me in 60 or 61. So one thing very good was in Bombay and amongst the visual artists, we don't believe in concho, like the dancer and musicians do. We're much older, 30-year older than me. We call each other by name and we're very friendly. We eat and drink together and so on. So that was a very liberated, very cosmopolitan. I knew Dr. Bhava, the scientist. I was having a drawing show. Dr. Bhava comes and pats at my back. He said, Mr. Das, I like your drawings. Would you like to come and see my studio, my work in the Tata Institute? Can you imagine? Over a glass of sherry. And I didn't know what was sherry. This was Morarji Desai was the chief minister. It was dry. It was Bombay State. It was Gujarat and Maharashtra together. Anyway, but he used to paint every day. He had a studio in his house. Our nuclear scientists, our what do you call the telescope that goes up, cable telescope, the satellite people. Some of them are Veena players, some of them are singers, some of them, like Satyajit Ray, who used to draw, who studied art, who used to play piano and write and draw. So holistic. What I'm trying to say, there were people before, they were very holistic. They had interest in life, they had interest in food and music and painting and life and so on. Today, people are very clubbed into cubicles. Okay. Having said that, as an artist, no, I wanted to draw and paint, okay, from my childhood. I used to spend the time in the garden. I used to look after plants and draw. And when I went to Bombay, then I got married. When Nandita was born, my mother came to Bombay. And Pulava Institute was broken down. So we were in a flat. She was sleeping in the same room where I was painting. She said, this painting is very nice. Don't sell it. And then she told me, when she was tiny, when she was in school, she got an award, a Japanese doll for a painting. She had forgotten. So she recollected that. So it must be in the genes. She wrote poems, and before, it's unfortunate I couldn't publish it before, but when she died, I brought out a book of poems written by her, and things like that. So I am as a human being, as I realize, I'm very concerned about my roots. I'm very concerned about where I belong to and my context. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, sorry. When people say to be an artist today is a profession. For me, it's not a profession. Profession has innumerable connotations. But for me, it's my life. I'm dedicated. I live on the sale of my painting, but I don't paint for selling. Are you getting? It's very simple expression, but it's very loaded. And some of my contemporaries also believe in a similar way. Say if you talk to Lakshma God, or if you talk to Surya Prakash, or Ramachandran, or Paramjit, K.G. Subramanian, these are the people who were committed, did their work, and we lived on the sale of our work. Yes. If something was sold, one was happy. Eh? So that you could buy paper, you could pay rent, you could pay the school fee of the children and all that. You get my point. But never been after money or name. Let me tell you a very interesting thing which has happened day before, which was to happen just now. And that is, there is something called Dharmapada Purashkar in Orissa Lalit Kala Academy. And I got a letter on the 7th of this month that you got a Dharma Pada Puraskar, which was decided in 2013,
Oh my God.
2013, and you will get it. Will you come to Bhubaneswar? The minister will give it to you. Now we can't have a function because of this. I said, thank you very much for thinking of me now after 2013, but I can't come because of the lockdown and my children will not allow me to go. So thank you very much, but I don't deserve it. There must be many other people. But why 2013? That man, they've all gone. The 6 other people have got it. The minister has gone and given them the award in their home. And the secretary of Lalit Kala Academy was supposed to come today after this program to give me the award. And yesterday he tells me he has some knee problem. He cannot come. He will come at some point later.
Bit
And
too
it's
bad.
a laughing stock because, shall I tell you, in Hyderabad, more people know about my painting than in Orissa.
Oh, is it?
Not a single person has my drawing, not even a drawing. I've never had an exhibition in Orissa. Nobody has invited me for a lecture there. I have given at least 2,000 lectures in Europe, in America, in Indian universities, art colleges, architecture colleges, but in Orissa, where I come from. And that is why I'm doing an art center in Bhubaneswar, called the JD Center of Art, 22 years ago. I am a contemporary artist. I don't call myself a traditional artist or a modern artist. I'm a contemporary, Samayik. I'm an artist of today. But I carry the 5,000 years of cultural art history with me like everybody does. No? This is a unique country where all of us speak 3 languages. Yeah. And like I say, Balli Vastanu in,
Hmm.
Telugu. So I know a little Malayalam. I speak Oriya, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Hindi, Punjabi, and a bit of Tamil. Sorry, what do you call French, German, and Italian. So you have to be shameless to learn with bad grammar. But I grew up in Bombay, and I've been in Delhi for 50 years. Right now, because of the Gujarati Marathi influence, I speak fluent Gujarati and Marathi even now. Some people who come to Delhi for 6 months, then they say, I've forgotten my language. I'll give you a tight slap. How could you forget your language? Right? So, anyway, we become phony. This is a great country gone to the dogs. Um, my younger son he wants to do painting. Okay? And his teacher is teaching him books from American video programs, what is tone, what is color, what is form. It's very sad. This is a unique country where you name anything about dance, music, painting, architecture, exists.
Yes.
In northeast of India, people build houses on stilt so that the flood water will not come, the wild animals will not come. Our architects have learned Corbusier, Frank Lloyd Wright, and Louis Kahn, etc. They have not learned Indian architecture properly.
True.
Our art schools, they teach Van Gogh, Picasso, Matisse. It's very sad. You know what? Millions of these books are done. Okay? You see, we have had a colonial background, fine. But 70 years after colonial uh, rule, we can't be talking about Picasso. Quite often, some people come to my studio and then say, are you influenced by Picasso? I said, who is Picasso? They said, oh, don't you know Picasso? I said, of course, I'm not denigrating him, but why should I be influenced by Picasso? I'm influenced by everything around me. But I am more influenced by my own context. When I see Mahabalipuram, when you see Chola bronze, when I see Konarak, when I see the lacquer terracotta, when I see jewelry, when I see wood carving, stone carving, and Kerala murals in the Jagannath temple, I'm influenced by that. The lyrical quality, the poetic quality in our country. In our food, whenever I give a lecture, I normally end with food because I give you a very interesting example. When I used to study in JJ, I used to stay in YMCA in Bombay. And I used to walk 7 kilometers sketching. So every day I did 300 sketches a day. Today, believe me, all these young artists will throw stones at me. They don't sketch anymore. There's no at all. They straight away paint and exhibit and sell. Acrylic is one medium. You paint today, it dries in the night, and you sell in the morning. You did love. You understand what I mean? The quickie of the medium. Anyway, so I used to go walking from JJ to YMCA. On the way, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, the great singer, studio was there. I'll stop there to listen to him. So he would say, "Ah, kya badhiya sugandh aa raha hai." Something very, very fragrant, very lovely flavor of some food is being cooked. He said, "I will do another composition now because nice food is being cooked." You get my point? So 90% of the artists that I know all over the world, German, French, Indian, everywhere, they're very fond of cooking and food. They're interested in music. You know, my painter friends, they go to see good films. They read poetry. They go to listen to good music, etc., etc. But the other way around, the musician and dancer don't go to see painting. Are you getting what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? So, what I've been talking now is a holistic commitment to life, number one, like Dr. Baba had and others. And the other is growing from the grassroots level. Commitment and influence and of your environment, your context. And so that is one. But in last 5 years, I've shifted to, I don't have a house of my own, incidentally. My contemporary has 8 houses. One in Bombay, one in Calcutta, one in Bangalore, one in Delhi, and all that. I have no house. The reason, whatever little money I got, I bought traditional craft, antiquity. ये आपके पीछे जो है बर्तन कांसे का, the bell metal and the brass. I have bought for 60 years, not only from India, from China, Japan, wherever I went. Eh? And that collection has gone to JD. I'm making 26 galleries, one for basketry, one for utensil, one for toys, one for miniatures, one for jewel objects, ceramic, pottery, many things. So, um, my daughter in Bombay and my two sons, my elder son, they're all looking after the art center. Then, another stupidity I have, I made a collection of handpans.
And
Pankha. What do you call? What do you call in Telugu? Uh, oh, Vishari. No, Vishanakara. You know the
Visankara,
word?
okay.
Yeah,
Hand fan,
Vishanakara.
okay.
Vishanakara.
That's very unique. Yeah, I can see something out there quite behind
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah,
So you have a
Vishanakara.
collection of that from different locations, or you make different
Yes,
styles
yes.
yourself?
So that's it. You must know the story, and my listeners should be motivated. All that I'm saying is not for myself. I'm saying so the younger people and other people should imbibe and take interest in life and its own context in India. Okay. 40 years ago, a friend of mine brought an antique hand fan for me as a gift on my birthday. I said, "Oh, lovely." At that moment, I decided I'll make a collection of hand fans. And then I continued. Today, my collection is the largest in the world, collected not only from all over the country, China, Japan, Korea, Egypt, Africa, everywhere. And this collection has been shown in the National Craft Museum in Delhi. It has been shown in Victoria Memorial in Calcutta, in Kennedy Center in America, London Fan Museum, etc. Now there is a proposal for a National Pankha Museum. When the National Pankha Museum will take place, I'll donate the collection to them. So I'm requesting all my listening friends to make start collection of your choice. And that will build up. So you do it for posterity, for future generations. And these things give you the excitement, the energy for life. I think
Super. Yeah, I
Sorry.
agree with you. Like things have become easy. Those days, collecting stuff, you had to request friends who are traveling from there. Request them to bring it. You have no
Yeah,
idea what's available where. There are hardly
yeah,
any
yeah.
pictures available online. So it is all of you basically talking about it, and your friends know that okay, Jatin likes this. Let me bring one for him.
Yeah, but
So, but now
someone said,
everything is online, but I see very few people having this passion for collecting, whether it's coins or
yeah,
anything. I don't see that passion for collection anywhere. I've not come across anybody recently this
yeah.
particular age.
Collection not as investment. A lot of people collect now for investment, for
Hmm.
value.
Right.
But there's a intellectual value, there's a spiritual value, there's a creative value. And that is, it's not that I was collecting long time ago, I'm still collecting. But for the collection, for the museum, you get the point. Anyway, having talked about the art center and the Pankha collection, I have a rented studio. 30 years younger artists than me who are doing financially very well, their big studio in Delhi of their own, with a bought in 10 crore. You get my point? And I have a studio, rented studio. And so when I shifted, I've got 3 floors, and so my staff and students, etc., those were helping me. I found works of different period, works of other artists. They are being separated, documented, and archived now. So
Wow.
it's taken 5 years. It's not finished yet. They're being separated. You know. So anyway, so painting, drawing, doing murals. I did a big mural in the Parliament in 2000. It was inaugurated in 2001 by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Then things like that. Then I did a big mural at International Airport in Bangalore. Then I did a National Center for Plant Genome and Research next to JNU in Delhi, a big science center, and so on. Uh, but this is a country. There's so many architects and there's so many artists, folk, tribal, classical, and contemporary artists. You'll be shocked and surprised to know that not a single architect has invited any artist to do a mural or a sculpture in their building. Very rarely, maybe two or three. You know, Ram Sutar is one who does portraiture, and he has done Gandhi and Nehru, etc., in different places. But it's not a part of the scheme of things of an architect. When you do your planning, at that time you start designing that you need a mural by so and so, or this, or a sculpture. These are You see, when our temples were done, you know, there were no cement and mortar or lime. One stone was sitting on the other with the weight, eh,
Hmm.
and they were sculpted. So the Stapati, the person who designed the temple, is also a sculptor, is also a civil engineer, he is also an architect. So there are 10,000 sculptors are carving, 2,000 are doing. Inside there's a mural, a relief work, high relief, low relief. So you don't have to go anywhere in the world to learn these things. We have it in the backyard of our country, which are being destroyed systematically. Very sad. Anyway, you have any other questions, sir?
I wanted to show the photograph because we have a lot of audience and there are a lot of compliments which are coming in. There are comments which
Question.
there are a few questions also which are coming in. But
Audience.
before that, I actually wanted to show the photographs or the paintings which we have
The
collected,
images of my work. The images of my work.
images of you.
They are oil
Okay.
paintings, drawings, watercolor, sculpture, and murals. So please show. Please show.
Yeah.
You
So
have to show
friends,
the face.
here are the paintings of so.
Right. It's not coming yet.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Okay, while you are arranging,
Yes.
um,
Yeah,
in
the
our
audience can hear
country,
you. You can talk while we are.
yeah, 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 please arrange. Let me also mention to our audience that you will be surprised all the museums which are done in our country were done during the British period. Till now, we hardly have any government museum that's done. We have a National Gallery of Modern Art in New Delhi, which is in Jaipur House. Jaipur Maharaja's house in Delhi has been occupied by National Gallery of Modern Art. It's not designed as a museum. They've done an extension, the branch of which is in Bombay and in Bangalore. Other than this, we government has not done any museum. You know, then some private people, there are private players. There are Kiran Nadar and Vadera and Kemol, Pandol, they have taken over. So there are auction houses, there are galleries who are doing museums. But it's a pity. And the other thing is, आपका हो गया visual नहीं हो रहा है.
हो रहा है सर. I mean, it is playing
Okay,
right now
okay.
while you're talking. So
Yeah. So instead of showing me, show the visual.
yes.
Now, other than the museum, there are many private galleries. People are into business of art, not because they are lover of art. There's a big difference. You know, people who dealt in art or exhibited or curated, they were lover of art. That's what they did. Today, it's a business of art. You know what people say? Art market. I'm not in the art market. What has happened? Even the artists have gone to the market. Not only their commodity, they themselves also in the marketplace. It's very sad. A creative person, whether you're an artist or a scientist, you have to withdraw yourself from public and media, from glare, from limelight to work. Only when it's necessary. That means if I'm having a one-man show of my exhibition of my painting, then I have to be present there or I have to go there. But other time I have to withdraw, I have to be incognito, I have to be in my private space to work. Get what I'm trying to say. So the gallery, etc., and the artists are doing art business. It's a commodity. You know, in my time earlier, we never used the word art market, art business, etc. But we're copying all this from the West. You know, when they say video show, and then computer generated art, you know, art is something, whether it's your dance or music or painting or drawing, it's done by the artist himself. No? It's not done by a computer. You know? So somebody can turn around and say, Jatin Das, you are from another generation, you don't know computer, that's why you are saying. But what a pity that instead of drawing, computer is drawing it for you. Huh? Isn't that sad? Is that a pity? So, like that. So, you're not being able to show the visuals?
Yes, till now we were playing the visuals. So we're back
You are.
now. Yes, yeah, we're
So,
done.
why don't you block me and show the visuals?
Yeah, you will not be able to see that, but yeah, the audience, the friends could see
Oh,
that
others are
till
seeing.
date.
Others are seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, very good. Okay. Now, so that's one. Then I came to Bombay, to Delhi, Bombay. As I said, it was a very cosmopolitan, very energized writer. We had a poetry group.
Mhm.
I write poetry also. Okay. In Samovar, Jahangir Art Gallery, there's a little cafe called Samovar. And the very famous English poets like Nissim Ezekiel, Arvind Kishan Mehrotra,
Mhm.
Dilip Chitre, Arun Koladkar, R. Parthasarathi, we had a group. And used to meet without public, no critic, nobody, just us. And used to read our poems to each other. And 90% of the dead and gone. It's only Arvind Kishan Mehrotra is there, and R. Parthasarathi is in America. So things like that. We were very private people, you know. We were not concentrating on exposure, exposition, promotion, none of these. You know. There were people who used to work in advertising agency and corporate houses. In the evening, they used to do theatre in Bombay, like Ali Kadamsi, like Jason Tikuna, and all these people. You know, Al-Qazi recently died in Delhi, just about a week, 10 days ago. And he was a giant in theatre. He devoted his time only to work, you know. And then he himself was a painter. He used to do, he didn't expose it at all. Then he started, when he gave up National School of Drama, he started the Art Heritage Gallery. And he has a fantastic collection of graphics and photographs from 19th century. No? So people have done extraordinary work in the past quietly without banging their things, without beating drums. So these days, what happens is somebody making 10 paintings is exposing 10 paintings immediately. When we did hundreds of works, we selected 10 works to exhibit,
Hmm.
and not by anybody else. You are the best judge of your own work. I don't think this is good enough to exhibit. See, that kind of like that. There were galleries who used to put us the group shows first when we were young. For 2, 3 years, then gave a one man when we were ready, when we were ripe. So in Shastra it says, when you work and slog and do your yas and you exercise, you practice, around the 40 you start, around the 60 you are ripe to do. Are you
Well
getting
said.
what I'm saying? In every field. Uh, in our country, we have a concept. The process is important, not the final product. The Americans say it doesn't matter what is your process as long as you win. Literally opposite. And the concept that we have in our country, the same in Japan also. Are you getting my point? So the Eastern world has a ethos of its own. Unfortunately, because of our colonial background, we were connected to the Western world. So America, England, France, Germany, we are still caught up in that. Our furniture, our building, your cement houses, our easel painting, everything. We had in our country murals or handheld miniature. You know, you know, point. So likewise, when we had the Gurukul, the Guru taught one subject a day for the whole day. Today you have a class for 45 minutes and then mathematics, then history, which is not connected. So we live in a very artificial, make believe, pressurized, stress world. How to break away from it? So, in the given situation, I have a refrigerator, but I also have a matka, a terracotta pitcher in which I put water and I drink from the terracotta. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, likewise, if you don't have a big house with a garden, you can put some potted plants in the pathway. There are people in Europe grow 5 kilos of tomato in the balcony.
True.
So it depends. In any given situation, you make the best out. So art is an integral part of life. Another thing, let me tell you, in the family, the society, the government, we have no understanding of art at all. If, like everybody else, including myself, when I wanted to do a course in art, my elder brother and parents always told me, no, 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 go for medicine. Art mein kuch nahi hai. You know. And so I did 2 years of inter science with biology. Go for medicine. Then when I stood first in painting in inter college, inter university, then I insisted I want to study art. Get my point? Likewise in every family, it's not a new story. Okay. When you have a visa form to go abroad, you say, are you a politician, are you a journalist, are you this, that, doctor? Then you say others. We fill our name in others. Okay? When I got married in Bombay, they said, Acha, what does the boy do? He's an artist. He said, artist to theek hai, dhanda kya karta hai? Are you getting what I'm saying? So likewise, till today, acha, embassies, etc., if you go, if their dancer or musician goes, they're very happy. So in the evening, they can have dinner, they can have dance, and finish with it. Or music. Eh? So performing arts get the maximum coverage in media, in the society, and in fund expenditure, the Ministry of Culture. Visual art, because if I'm going to have a show, they have a crane, it has to be opened up, it has to be insured. Then the exhibition will take for place for 1 month. You know what I mean? Then to unpack and send it, it's too cumbersome for him. So likewise, the Lalit Kala Academy, Sangeet Natya Academy, Sahitya Academy, three academies, Triveni. Uh, Nehru started this in the name of on the same line of Arts Council. And ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, was started also at that time, the same year of British Council. That is for promotion abroad, and this is for our country. And in our country, in our ancient time, we had complete understanding Triveni, performing arts, literary arts, and visual arts. When you use the word for painting, painting also signifies drawing, painting, sculpture, architecture, everything in visual art is called painting. It's not just it's also a word which is used quite often in the past called fine arts.
Finance, yeah.
Okay. Then when you say you are an artist, usually referred to only to a visual artist, to a painter. Otherwise, you say it's a dancer, it's a musician, a theatre person, and he's an artist. Today, everybody is called themselves an artist. The gallery was for painting. Okay. Today, there's a sari gallery, there's a crockery gallery. Get my point? And so on. So there are different usage to the term, etc. Originally, portraiture was done by artists. When photography came into being, photography took over, portraits were done. So there was a different direction to art. But everybody in the world, because of the dominance of the Western world, everybody is referring to Picasso Matisse brush and Cubism and Pointillism and Expressionism, etc. We don't have to. It's like the dog show. This is today is the Friends' Day. Today is Mother's Day, Brother's Day. You know all this. It's come from abroad. These are also contamination. These are also virus. No? Like Coca-Cola is a virus. No? You get what I mean?
Right.
Like today, if you ask somebody, "How are you?" they say, "I'm good." It's a very arrogant expression. No? I'm fine, or I'm sad, or I'm angry, or depressed, or whatever. Earlier, people would say, "I'm fine, thank you." These days, people say, "I'm good." Now, because of the virus, people are told to take off their shoes, wash their hands and feet. This was a part of their culture. Hello. When I was making a collection of handicrafts, I was making a collection of handicraft for the Festival of India in Russia in 1987. I went to the entire 9 states of the eastern part of India. I went to Assam. I went through the rice field. The moment I arrived, nobody asked anything. Somebody came and washed my feet. Somebody came and spread a chatai. Another person came and fanned me. Another person came and gave water and a soup. Are you getting what I'm saying? It's a part of our Indian culture. Today, all the urban, modern, educated people take their shoes to the bed. You know what I mean? Even in Japan, they don't take their shoes inside the house. Remember? So we have drifted away from our culture. I don't mean religion. I don't mean what you call what's the word? Any kind of not flying the Indian flag, but it's very aesthetic. It's very refined. There are a lot of sanskar in it. Whether in painting, sir, I was doing a series of painting in Nepal. Invited me to some exchange program, and I was doing painting. One of my assistant went. We went to see Tanka painter. So he told my assistant, "अला भाई, ये artist बनना बहुत कष्ट का काम है. It's very painful and it's very difficult. You have to do because he takes a cloth, rub it for 10 days, then smoothen for 10 days, then he applies the coating for 10 days, like that. Today, people buy, we knew how to stretch a canvas. Our traditional artists know how to make handmade paper, how to make a brush, how to grind colors. Today, it all comes ready made. In earlier time, even now in the villages, people know how to make a mud house like stone. They put jaggery, they put husk inside. And if you even hammer it, it won't break. So what I'm saying is that knowledge, the expertise, whether it's jewelry, whether dance or music or painting, architecture, the garment, everything is there. The amount of varieties of shoes, varieties of pagdi, turban, you name anything, the way we eat. A kaase ka thali
Hmm.
all over the country, the ancient time, eh? And katoris, little bowls, and a glass, and something very dry, something fried, something semi-gravy, something very gravy, eh? Very spicy, something khatta, sour, and something bitter like neem ka patta, lemon, green chili, ghee. That's a thali. That's the to eat. And the thali is large. With my point. When I was a student, I used to paint. We used to have in JJ. We used to have evening classes also. My professor was a great artist and a great teacher. He comes to me. He says, "Hey, kya hai? What are you doing?" He takes a knife and takes away the paint from my canvas. I used to get burning, angry. Then he said, "Clean your palette." He said, "Put green here and then yellow. Which color will should be put where?" So it gets mixed up, and how to hold a palette, how to mix up at time,
Wow.
how to I can stretch a 10 feet canvas myself. I know how to prime a canvas. 99% of the artists today don't know how to prime a canvas with what.
True.
You get my point? So, frankly, the traditional artists have no knowledge, lot of knowledge. Lot of urban people are going to the traditional area and destroying them. Say Kondapalli toys.
Hmm.
The lacquer. In Orissa also we have lacquer. We have lacquer toys, fantastic terracotta lacquer. My research I've done for 50 years on lacquer terracotta.
Wow.
You know, I'm not a modern artist as I said. I'm a contemporary artist, but I'm not a traditional artist or a modern artist. I'm an artist. Are you getting what I'm saying? And I have interest in everything. Making coffee, making tea, looking after plants, looking after animals, and drawing, painting, listening to music, everything. You get my point. So, my request to my listeners put your heart and soul to life. Read poetry. So, let me, Vishnu Dharmottara. Vishnu Dharmottara, the treatise on art, it says, even a king's, the prince goes to a Gurukul
Hmm.
to learn. He says, I want to learn music, Gurudev. I want to learn music. He says, oh, you want to learn music? Okay. Then go and learn the Mridangam. Then he goes to Mridangam teacher. He says, Mridangam, then learn sculpture. Then eventually he's put in the garden to look after plants and animals and wash clothes. The prince. Then after 2 years, Guru goes to him in the winter. So let's have a bath in the river. Now you sit and do sarigama.
Hmm.
Because when he was in the nature, you know, he learned, no, he listened to the water, he listened to the breeze, he saw the plants growing, the animal look after, etc. So, so that's why there's an old saying, nature is the best teacher. So if you invest in your roots, in your tradition, in your family, in your culture, in your everything, then it will work. Any other questions, sir?
Yes, sir, both questions. But it was so nice listening to the entire journey because you made us realize what we are missing. You made us realize that we are running in the wrong direction. You made us realize what I mean the recent thing which we spoke about. You know, the prince has to go through all the cultures. And it's
You
so
don't
motivating me
remember
that
even
बच्चे के school छोड़ के I think we should get into that process. I'm really looking for somebody to start this course which
yeah,
basically teaches all this in the old traditional style to the kids, rather than
yeah.
education. We do have some questions from the audience. Sunita Agrawal basically is asking, sir, any guidance for women artists who are struggling to manage home and have passion of art?
Hold it. Don't say more. Don't say more. Nothing like women artist and men artist.
Okay,
First of all, that's very wrong.
yeah.
And
So
these, I
Sunita,
don't know where people learned this. You know, I remember about 30, 40 years ago, National Gallery not organize because of the Western influence an exhibition of women artists. And some of the women protested, we're not women artists, we're artists. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
We have gone on a wrong path all the time. Does anybody say woman doctor, woman scientist? Very wrong. So they're nothing like women artists or men artists. It is true a woman can deliver a child, but man cannot. Man has a beard, woman doesn't have a beard. Okay, the Prakriti and Purusha. Let's first understand what is Prakriti and Purusha.
True.
But in activity, a woman can drive write a plane, and he can drive an aircraft, he can drive a car, he can paint, draw, scientist, doctor, everything. Frankly, a Shakti, woman is Shakti. What Shakti has, Purusha do not have. Do you know the female fetus survives more than the male fetus? I've been told. You know, I'm very lucky. You know why? I'm mathematician friends, I'm physicist friends, top mathematician, top physicist. And when we talk, we speak the same language. I know nothing about mathematics. I know nothing about physics. But I find there's a connection in life. So, come back to the question. First of all, there are no women artists, etc. Everybody should, everybody says, I've got 3 children, how can I do? I have to cook, I have to make this, etc. You make time for it. So you've got such a beautiful Kansaka glass, shining glass. Yeah, yeah. And anyway, so they don't like a women artist, men artist. And in spite of, there is no best situation in the world. There's an old saying, 60 kilo ghee hoga fir Radha nachenge. ऐसा नहीं होता. They know best time. Somebody who has the ear has no gold. Somebody has the gold who has no ear. In the given situation, many people all over the world, in every period of history, they've created things devoid of funds, facility, family, and everything. So, to women artists and men artists, I just draw and paint and sing and dance and cook and eat.
Super.
Next,
Thank you.
next question.
Next question is from me. This is not from the audience, but yeah,
Yeah,
friends, do shoot up questions if you have. So
yeah, please.
next question is, every person has a style. So what is your style when you're going for a painting? Okay, you're
Yeah.
going to paint on
I've
the wall.
understood.
So what are the things you carry? What is the way you dress up?
Now,
What are the accessories around? What is the
this
style you
word
carry
for
yourself?
style is a very dangerous word.
Okay.
Uh, in art school, many teachers in our art schools in the country tell a student, you must evolve your own style. And your style is like Picasso or like Braque, eh? Which is very wrong. Very wrong. You know what is style? Do you know Kumar Gandharv sings? He has a particular resonance in his voice. Eh? Bade Gulam Ali Khan has a different resonance. That is the style. A style is not known to the artist. Quite often, when people talk of style, they are referring to manners. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you can recognize a Hussein's painting because similar looking, so it's manneristic. But, but I'm the same person. So if I do a drawing or a painting, if I'm not thinking of my audience and buyers, each time I'll do something different. And sometimes the viewer may not be able to recognize it's my work. That's good. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Those who no, this is very subtle. Please understand. Those who can recognize, they call it style, but it's manneristic. Lot of artists do similar work for sellability. Are you getting? I'm making a very strong statement. No? Lot of times when people do well, they come of age. I have seen some artists copy their own catalog and books to do a replica of the previous one. Are you getting what I'm saying? So sometimes the market force and media forces a person to do the same thing again. This is why you do withdraw. Anyway, returning back to style and mannerism, they're two different things. Any other third question, sir?
Yeah. So when you were hanging out with the friends during the conversation, you said you were hanging out with like-minded people, people from
Yes.
different backgrounds, engineers, artists. So what was the mahal when you were writing poetry? Mahal kya tha? Was it like the gathering was during sad situations, or the gathering was like just for fun? You were celebrating something. What were the occasions you met all your friends frequently,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how was the connection? ये relationship कैसा था? Apart from being an artist, how was your relationship with your friends around you?
Okay. Let me start from the end. Today, when you meet a scientist or a sociologist or a professor from JNU, he carries a placard on his. As a sociologist, I think like this. As a physicist, I think is a very stupid, very arrogant expression. Is again a Western expression. I never said in my life, as an artist, I think like this. It's a stupid thing. I'm not just an artist. I'm also a father. Eh? I'm also a poet. I'm also a painter. I'm also an activist. I also get angry and happy and sad. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I'm with my poet friends, I'm not thinking about painting. I'm completely involved in poetry. It is not for fun. It is not for achievement because we're totally engrossed in poems. Are you getting a point? Quite often people simplistically say, "Oh, Jatin is writing a poem like this because he's a painter." You know, it's a stupid thing. Of course, Sneha, let me put it in another way. If you eat bhindi and fish and rice and roti and everything, it becomes a drop of blood. You can't separate the bhindi and rice in your blood. Huh? So everything that we all do, we imbibe and assimilate and come to us. We do not have to separate and analyze anything. So one is about women artists and men artists. There nothing like that. The other is about style and mannerism, something else. And what your third question was?
Friends,
That
with friends more
singing,
than.
friends. No, friends, you see, there are many expressions. Samaskanda Bhakti. People who have similar sensibility, etc. Rasik, जो रस आस्वादन करते हैं. Those who enjoy the nectar of poetry or painting, you spend a complete evening with it. Are you getting my point? So I knew the poet Dom Morais was not a new, he was my closest friend. Sukhdev the filmmaker, Chari the filmmaker, Inhivat Chari. He's a great documentary filmmaker in Bombay in those days. Al-Qazi the theatre person, Ali Padamsi the theatre person, he's a musical professor of English literature and a poet and a critic. So, you know, innumerable people. Jagmohan. Jagmohan was in Bombay who wrote at least 5,000 scripts for documentaries. You know, these are Satyen, the photographer who went to Andhra, back to, Sikandarabad or wherever he went. So Girish Karnad. You know, these are the friends who are deep involved in everything. If they're having a drink, they're enjoying the drink. If they're talking of a poem, they're enjoying the poem. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're not missing out on the other two, fully involved in everything. In life, the involvement in life, in Prakriti. Any other questions, sir? Have
Yes,
we
sir.
gone beyond our time?
No, no. आपसे बात करते हुए मतलब टाइम का मतलब
No.
I am not this thing, and the audience are also so glued because the comments are kept coming in. So
Yeah.
you know.
But acha, sometimes the mother brings a little child and says, Jatin bhai, can you tell her or him how to paint and draw? I said, no. Any book? I said, no reference to book. Just give him or her ordinary paper, recycled paper. One side is typed in your office, bring 50 paper, give it to the child to draw. Then they go back. Jatin doesn't know anything. He didn't tell us what to do. He just told us for him to do. If you sing, okay, bhai, I want to sing. So then sing. Sing in the garden, sing in the kitchen, sing in the toilet. And then when you keep doing it, acha, I should tell others, You bring 1,000 sketches, then come to me. They didn't come. Then eventually I said, bring 100 sketches and come to me. They didn't come. I said, bring 20 sketches to me and come. They didn't come. They don't want to work. They want a tablet culture.
Hmm.
Does anybody does Ayurvedic thing? No. You have a headache, you take aspirin. Na, bhai. The same culture. We have gone on a wrong path, bhai. Completely. I don't know what to say. Somebody might turn around and say, so no, my daughter was 16 or 17, college. Okay, They had closed the door and they were dancing. So I told my daughter, Mama, don't close the door, it will be suffocating. Dance. I also want to dance. So when I dance, her friends were saying, Uncle, but you dance better than us. I said, sure. So when I'm dancing, I'm enjoying my dance. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
You are get involved in everything. I told you at the beginning, you have to be shameless to learn everything. But Dusra, this country has every damn thing in the world. Why Andhra food better than Tamilian food? Eh? Why there are not many good painters in England? They are in Italy, France, Germany, everywhere. Not too many because the English food is very bad. Are you getting what I'm saying?
True.
I'm talking at the
I can relate
spectrums,
that.
both ends. You know, if you have good music, good painting, good food, etc., then everything will evolve. And
Everything will be artistic.
yeah, and you don't have to try to be artistic. I've never tried to be an artist. You know, I never carry a banner on my chest. You see, we have catalogs, there are films made on us, and we sell a painting for this price. A simple artist in the tradition, he doesn't show off at all. Let me give you another example. At my art center in 2004, I had a national sculptors camp. Achha, my center is only center in the country is for tradition and contemporary both. So I called Dakshinamurti,
Hmm.
the famous sculptor. I don't know whether he's still alive or not, from Madras, and many other sculptors. And they, traditional sculptors had only one thin chisel, one thick chisel, or one hammer. Three objects, right?
That's it.
Okay. They were doing fantastic sculpture. Okay. After 2, 3 years, my son got to Siddharth, meet a sculptor from England, and he got a big stone, very expensive, and he got grinding machine and filing machine, which made noise. The entire Bhubaneswar was bhukamp hota tha. And eventually he made a cube. After all this machine and noise and the dust, he made just a cube. That's it. ये जो है ना modernity भाई मुझे समझ नहीं आया. Are you getting my point?
He's just
All
beside
these,
you, right? He's just sitting there.
yeah, all the recipes when people are showing on the television, ये करो garlic and ये broccoli, ये. A lady goes in Hoska's market. She has read in the magazine and the television कि broccoli salad खाना चाहिए. Do you know for tropical country people should not eat any raw food, raw vegetable? All the bacteria, all the infection in the raw. That's why a cucumber you peel off. That's why all our food was always boiled, cooked. Okay? Now, this lady goes to Hoska's market and somebody is selling the vegetable on the floor. On the floor. So all the dust is coming in. Say broccoli, then a broccoli. Broccoli, capsicum, then a, she can't even pronounce it properly because she had heard broccoli, capsicum, you make salad. Are you getting what I'm saying? You get all kinds of bacteria infection from salads unless they're properly washed. Do you know a lot of my friends don't eat salad anywhere, not even in a hotel. They will eat salad in my house. Earlier, I used to cook a lot and invite friends. I don't do anymore. And because I wash it many times, then frozen water, take it out, then put as then little haldi powder, then take it out, then drain it, wipe it with a clean cloth, then put it in the fridge, then make the salad. Anyway, so whether it is painting or music or dance, क्या करें? Bala Saraswati. They spend all our life. I remember in IFX building where she was doing, she's standing, she's about 70 or 80 or whatever, and she just tucked her sari and she was doing Krishna Abhinaya. And I cried, you know. So that is how it is. Where are the singers? Where are the dancers? Where are the painters? Where are the architects? Where are the politicians who are lover of art? You know? Are you getting what I'm saying? Suniya, Emperor, Mughal Emperor wanted to invite Tansen to come and sing in the court. Tansen said, I don't sing in the court. So Mughal Emperor changed his clothes like a common man, went to his window to listen to him. Get that point? So we have it everything there. If you scratch a little bit under the earth, there is there, but it's all vanishing very fast. Politicians, educationists, parents, everybody spoiling it. Parents, do you know 90% of the kids are learning commerce or IT? Do you know humanities subject have been abolished in many universities? Forget about art. Art should be a way of life. You and I are talking to each other. We're not abusing each other now. Look at the politicians, they abuse each other. What our next generation, our present generation will learn? If you do you know when a chair is designed, the body has the anatomy has a curve. None of our chairs are designed for our body. Do you know that? Do you know that we should sit on the ground? Then your knee and your ligament problem will not be there. Huh? We only sit on the chair. You know the modern people today, they can't sit on the ground because they only used to a chair.
True.
And when I tell them in my studio, in my house, I have a shoe rack at the entrance. They say, "क्यों? आज कोई पूजा है क्या?" I say, all of you come from some bloody village in Gujarat or Maharashtra or Karnataka, wherever. In your house, you never took your shoes in from your mother or grandmother there. So, what is it? Little what is it that is we have destroyed? What I'm making another very strong statement. All the educated people are very dangerous. All simple, uneducated villagers are the real people. Now, look at this. I have done within this 4.5 months sketches, ink with brush on exodus of laborers. Only about that. 4.5 months, I've done about 300. Did you read that there's a girl who had only 2,000 rupees, bought a cycle, and with that bicycle took his father 1,200 kilometers, drove to his village? Eh? Do you know in Assam, where there's flood, they got banana trunks tied together is a boat. Yeah, fantastic area. In Assam, 6 villages got together without the help of the government, made a bamboo bridge, floating bamboo bridge. They are the real people. Tell me, after this girl, this is in the top of my head, I'm writing about it, also drawing. Tell me a single educated boy or a girl, modern, educated, rich, middle class, whatever, gone to see their grandparents driving even 100 kilometers on a bicycle. She has gone 1,200 kilometers. 15-year-old girl. So you get a gist, no? You get an inspiration. ये करता तो मैं क्यों ना करूं? If somebody is doing a good painting, drawing, oh my God, why can't I draw like that? मेरा नींद नहीं आता. You get my point? So what are this? What is this society? What is this? What is this life about? Thank you. Sorry, I'm straight too far.
Sir, one last
आपको
question from me. ये बहुत दिमाग में चल
yeah,
रहा है, तो I thought I'll ask you. So
please.
for music, we generally have jugalbandi, right?
जी,
All the
yeah,
artists come together and do it, similar to the
yeah, yeah,
which you discussed now. So for
yeah, yeah.
artists, do you have a forum where you compete,
No,
gather and
no.
then compete as a
Jugal Bandi was done as an entertainment for the audience. Jugal Bandi was done for that. It's not a part of a music repertoire. It is a later on version. Sneha, when I was a student in Bombay, in Rang Bhavan, I had to listen to music from evening till next morning. Today, music concerts are 45 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So people do many things how to keep the audience entertained. Suppose हम बात कर रहे हैं ना, many people might have walked away. अरे ये तो कुछ ऐसे ही आलतू फालतू बात कर रहा है, इसमें मुझे सीखने का कुछ नहीं. You know what I mean? Likewise. So a lot of people in various, see, I won't name the artists. Many artists today all over the world doing something big, something sensational, which will draw attention by which they'll become famous. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks
Okay?
a lot for taking time out. Thank you, friends, for joining and clarifying your questions. It's a very nice interaction, nice conversation. And thanks to Dr. Sneha Lata ji, because of her, I got the
There
chance
in the
to,
audience,
yeah. So she's in the audience right now. So, once we go offline, we'll connect again.
Malli
Uh,
Vastano, Malli Vastano.
yeah, Malli. But
Malli
thanks a lot. With due to her, I got this opportunity to meet you. Heard a lot.
Lovely.
I
Keep in
did
touch.
research, a lot of research about you. Very very
No, you
humble
should also
person.
draw. You should also draw and sing and dance
Yes,
and
sir.
cook.
Sing, dance,
Great.
cooking to an extent. But yeah, I'm just waiting for a what is it called, a hazel stand or something. I'm just waiting
Don't
for
wait.
that to start off.
Don't wait for anything. Start doodling. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And encourage your family and children, your neighbors to do everything.
Sure,
And
sir.
there's time for everything. All the best.
Thank
Namaskar.
you. Namaskar.
Malli Vastano.
Thank you,
Thank
friends,
you.
and do follow Sneha Arts and her page, because we're planning to get more artists, senior artists like Jatin sir, and do follow Jatin sir. His art is just awesome. You would have seen some of the paintings and pictures, and the some of the points which we shared during these conversations are very insightful. And yes, we are definitely in a wrong direction. We have to accept that, and some of these suggestions mean a lot. So thank you, friends. Have a great day.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Keep smiling and keep working. Bye bye. Thank you.